have you communicated with a social media user who goes by the name ThATuMBRELLAgUY?
I've had several phone calls with the person who goes by the name ThATuMBRELLAgUY. I don't actually know his real name.
And unfortunately, every time I make a call, it becomes content for them.
Help! I've been tossed overboard.
I'll have to bill you extra for my time.
Welcome to the show. You look incredible, like a dessert that owns a yacht.
That's exactly the vibe I was going for. You know, sweet but slightly out of your tax bracket.
Mission accomplished. How does one even shop for a suit when your head is...
Gold on my neck, gold on my hand, purple with the stripes, that's the walk of a man. Sidewalk shining, city lights humming, every step I take, they know a boss is coming.
Police or zombie problems? Your tortoise won't stop breakdancing?
Try blue tape.
The miracle of our age. Yay! Hey, we love that umbrella guy. All right. Thank you.
I'm calling from Los Angeles, and I'm having a little problem under the name ThATuMBRELLAgUY. I sent him my phone number at least 20 times in the chat and told him to call me. He ignored me, or I'm a man. I filed the report. If you guys could take a look at it and give me a call back, I would love to hear what you guys can do to help us. We really need to kind of stop this guy at least until Monday. I told him to call me, or I'm a man.
You know what? I talked to your mayor.
Yeah, count it up. That's umbrella guy in the building, run it up. 100K vanish, screenshots vanish. Trust me, bro, contracts, fine print damage. You sold fake dreams, cheap fonts, big schemes. Whole crew talking tough till the light hits the seams. How you flex chrome chains over borrowed bills? Selfie angle hiding them rusted grills. You bark big numbers, but the math don't add. You reimburse every family you scam. You can hide them platinum grills from the truth, from the can, from the real. Yeah, you can flash that metal and square, but the lies and the fraud don't kill. Yeah, that's umbrella guy. Calling names on the set, every bogus claim, every paper thread, all that tough talk, typed in caps, and still you can't fight back through the platinum grills. You said we partners, then you pick my pocket, turn friends into figures like a broken stock market. Exclusive access, it was copy paste. Whole contract smelling like panic and haste. You spam fake letters, trying to scare and pray. Big law talk on the 10th mail. You serve weak threats on the kitchen table. You're allergic to evidence, dodging labels at it. You can hide them platinum grills from the truth, from the can, from the real. Yeah, you can flex that metal and square, but the lies and the fraud go bill. Yeah, that's umbrella guy. Calling names on the set, every bogus claim, every paper thread, all that tough talk, typed in caps, and still you can't fight back through the platinum grills. 100K gone, screenshots saved. You gon' see every promise replayed, every I swear that you typed that day. Holding the light, can't fake that shade. Run it back, show receipts. You a ghost when the proof hit the feed. You ain't built for the storm, just tweets. Stay umbrella guy, dragging every dirty
What's up, folks? How's it going today? Man, oh man, oh man. Feels like I've been gone a year and a half. Apologies, I started like 2 minutes late. I was exchanging pen pal information with one of my favorite people online, Mr. Vomit. Oh man, always butthurt. Always. I can't believe they exchange letters with me. Some of the shit I write him is so horrible. It's funny though. It's really funny. But did I have good time? Yes. So the oldest and myself, if for some reason, like you didn't know about this for some reason, I'm still laughing about that letter. We went to see the movie Backrooms. I took her out. My youngest went and had a day for herself. She went and hung out with Gigi. She got to have a day out. She got to go swimming, all that good stuff. And the oldest, she wanted to go see the movie The Backrooms. I figured the youngest would not be able to sit still through that whole movie. That movie has done amazing, by the way. It's kind of crazy. You know, that movie, you've got a Star Wars movie out right now that probably will not make back its budget. And you have a movie made by a 20-year-old, a horror movie that costs around $1 million. And it may make $80 million this week. Isn't that crazy? It's just wild, isn't it? But yeah, I like The Backrooms. There's 3 acts in the movie. I'm not going to ruin the movie for you, okay? If you want to see it. So when I'm talking about it, I'm just going to give some ideas on it, I guess, and then we'll talk about all the other craziness. But there's essentially 3 acts to it. I like liminal horror, by the way. You know, dealing with spaces like that, like something that's something that you know, these areas, like an office building almost, but there's something wrong with it, space that doesn't seem correct. And then they took it in a weird direction in Act 2. Some people don't like the weird direction in Act 2. Everybody in the theater that was there seemed to like it pretty well. That theater is one of the quietest, not in a bad way, but in a good. People weren't bored. They weren't talking over one another. Now, again, you're going to see people go both ways with that movie, but I personally liked it. More than that, the kid liked it. So I really do not understand why that movie has a rating of an R. It's creepy in parts. It does not have really excessive gore. It doesn't use a lot of profanity. There is no I'm going to say adult theming. I'm kind of surprised that it's the rating. that movie really could have gone for a PG-13 if it wanted it, but I liked it. Again, I like movies like that though. I'm probably not your compass for movies because with horror movies I don't have a lot of requirement. All I want to do is be entertained. I can set the bar very low with it. I watch things like Thanksgiving where you have a rooster running around killing people. It's not really high bar entertainment. So, if you're looking for high bar, if you're looking for critical reviews, you come to the wrong place. But I did enjoy it. Jump scares, there weren't really a lot of jump scares in it either. It didn't go with that. It went with more of just an ominous overtone. Sound direction was, again, I was surprised by the way the second act kind of went. It will throw some people are like, I don't like that. But I thought it worked. I did. Now, I also, there's like a million different things on the internet about Backrooms, about the lore and all this other stuff. I don't know all that. I know the original short film. I've seen plenty of it, but I don't know enough to not like it because of something that's in there, to be like, well, actually, I don't know any of that. So, but I did have fun. I took the kiddo out to eat and, we just had a good time. The little one, though, it was she gets upset. She's away. You know how little kids are. They get upset. So she did wake up last night in the middle of the night and was wanting dad. Want dad. So I got called in the middle of the night. And then I talked to her. And then she was fine. She was good. She just missed her dad, which is fine. You know, again, that's how little kids are. But she was good to go after that. So, but it was like I said, it was a good day. We had a good day. It was pretty crazy though to have to deal with all the lunacy of movie theater. I have not been to a movie theater in quite some time, and going and dealing with crowds of people and stuff. You know, that's not been my thing for a while. But like I said, it was good because the kid wanted to go. That's ultimately, I would not pay. It was crazy what it cost. This is what killed me. All right. So 2 tickets. This is daytime showing. All right. Not a nighttime, not prime time. 2 tickets, $10 each. A drink, one size they have, $10 each. Popcorn, 1 bucket, shared, $20. So $50 plus tax. And then on top of that, we bought candy before we went in there. My daughter bought about $25 worth of candy. You know, we bought it at the dollar store and took it in. And I was thinking it'll be like 3 to 1, you know, $25 and candy be like $75 there. No, $25 in candy was more like $150 worth of candy in there. I was stunned by the candy prices. It was just crazy. I'm glad we stopped in. If we lived closer, I would have brought our own popcorn too. Just to be honest. But anyway, it was fun though. We had a good time. She was really excited about it. But yesterday while I was away, all kinds of stuff pop off. Tomorrow, we'll actually talk about something that happened. I had a fun article written by the Vomit. I know he was messing me. He was just missing me so terribly yesterday. So he and his lover boy Paint Chips, they had to write an article. Because, of course, they're trying to deflect. You know, the reality is, and when you look at, again, just giving you some high points, he leaked a confidential document, a Guardian ad litem report. They are protected because of kids. That endangers children when you leak things like that. He leaked it anyway because he just doesn't care. And it ends up getting a woman put in jail. She goes to jail for 3 days, including on Mother's Day for it. She also loses her attorney. They step away from the case because of this stuff too. With that, though, they, of course, with deflecting that, they put out, if you talk about them, especially if you get in the way of their money, man, they will do anything to try to smear you for it. So they wrote articles talking about how that was PDF, I'm going to say, defending and just ridiculous stuff. But that's who they are, you know. So I had to write them and laugh at them today. I was like, man, that's pretty desperate, you know. You know, you're getting in the way of their dollary dues when they're that desperate. And what's funny is the antis are totally okay with that behavior. They are. They're totally okay with it. They just buy it hook, line, and sinker. They don't even look into it. The guy writes an article telling you he leaked this stuff, telling you he got this person arrested. His excuse for it was, well, usually they don't jail people for this. I'm like, dude, are you kidding me? Also, I saw something that was I kind of really liked. Let me show you this. Let me show you how ignorant some folks are. So the 2 things really happened yesterday that they should have been covered yesterday, I'll say. So 2 things. Number 1, Marla is trying to, this is, I guess, a new method of going at me. It's a dumb method, but okay. Apparently, they're too dumb to figure out what the umbrella is about. So they're trying to make it racism, I guess, by bringing up the John F. Kennedy umbrella man. Now, if you know anything about anything, you will realize that that umbrella guy is a play off of Resident Evil. You can see it. It's pretty simple. In fact, I have a Resident Evil tattoo on my hand. That's where it came from. That's why. But that takes too much research to figure out. So, oh my God. So we get this this really weird scree. I've heard many weird things in my time. I, however, have not heard the Kennedy excuse being utilized to say therefore racist. I was like, wait, what? That's where this is going. So check this out. Speaking of Umbrella Man, reality in 78, a man, Louis Witt, testified before the House Committee on Assassinations, would explain that the open umbrella was an obscure, silent protest directed at JFK's father. The elder Kennedy had supported British Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain, who was famously known for carrying an umbrella and for his policies of appeasing the mustache man. So actually, I guess that would actually make me anti that, but she doesn't read far enough in there to understand that that's actually not a shot at the umbrella guy. That's actually the umbrella man, not that umbrella guy, by the way. But no, that would make him anti-racist. But hey, whatever. But all of that is not anything, because that's not where it comes from. It comes from, again, you don't even have to really know video games or anything. Just a little bit of popular culture, and you'd understand that it's about Resident Evil. I love Resident Evil. To utilize something, you have to change about 10% of it. I have a guy that has a face with a design, an umbrella design. It has nothing in common with Resident Evil. So that is how I am able to use it, because it is not, part of that franchise. But I definitely, like I said, I like that franchise. Always have. I played it when I was younger. I thought it was amazing. It impacted the way I see video games. So yeah, I love it. But some people, again, are too dumb. And I thought this was funny. I also thought this was funny. So check this out. Give me 1 second. I'm going to pull this up. So we've had another controversy kick off, and that is one about the giveaways from the tubs. That's right. You have a controversy kicking off where these folks, they're burning people who won in the past, because they're saying, well, you no longer get anything because now you've turned against me. This person here, Aussie Tina, was actually targeted. They talked a lot of smack about her. And this is yet another example of stuff that they're doing on their show that, to be honest, running a giveaway and not following through, you don't get to pick and choose. You don't get to say, well, unless you made terms clear before you did it, these people have first of all, they have a valid claim to sue you. But on top of that, since they're international, they actually have a valid claim with YouTube, because that is fraud. So you should probably think about giving them whatever, and write it off. That's the thing. It doesn't matter. When they want it, they want it. If you wait months and months to send something over to somebody, well, so you can see them telling 2L, though, hey, the things that I've won, since I won more than one thing, I want you to, if you would, take one, the lesser prize, add it, and take away some of the shipping costs, because the shipping costs are so high because this person apparently lives in Australia. Well, apparently they're not going to get their stuff. Let's see. So I'm pulling up some of this wonderful stuff. Again, I love how they talk to them. I mean, some of this shit is so amazing. Look, here's one of their letters to this person over this, or to a person over this, rather, about all of this. Get over yourself, Nikki. Pay attention to what I said. If she trashes me, which she did, I'm not sending her a giveaway. Well, again, she won it. It doesn't matter. Lord, you either keep your mouth shut and you do exactly like you're told, like a good little dog, or you don't. You get attacked. It's funny. I saw on that day, I saw somebody in the chat talking, and they said, Lisa, I haven't gotten my gift yet, and you don't see me going over there and talking about you. Oh, you're like, oh my God. Yeah, here, check this out. It's right. Here it is. I'm going to include that one. Check this. So here's another person talking about it, but they're like, I didn't get mine, but I know my place. You got to love stuff like that. Look, I never got my giveaway over a year ago. Over a year ago. And I'll never go there and trash talk. Never. I just gave up on it. Holy crap, man. That's terrible. This is absolutely terrible. Oh, my Lord. Again, if you're running a business and something gets lost or whatever, man, it happens. I do comic books. We have people that we have stuff lost in the mail. I've had to refund some international people. It happens. This isn't that, though. This is straight up saying, if you don't, then. And again, if you did not directly specify those kinds of terms and conditions from go, that's fraud, man. It is. So let's go back to that letter. I can imagine. Oh, well, you won something a year ago. Be a good little dog, sit in the corner. Don't bark, or if you bark my way. God, you gotta love that, right? You gotta love that. Here also, check this. She said something first, not me. I simply responded. See, again, this stuff is made into public spectacle by these same people, just like the donor issues. The stuff with Lynette Preston, all of that, these people make it an issue. These things could be handled quietly. If nothing else, I'm sure that person would have probably taken it was supposed to be a few $100 worth of gift. I'm sure that person would have taken like $50 and just walked away on their own happily. I'm sure they would have been like, yeah, I'm good to go with that. But instead they get attacked. So take your foul mouth and your phony bullshit elsewhere. I'm quite sure with all the shit you have sent me, they would all say you're a big fat liar now. Isn't that right? They already are. They just don't know it was you. You obviously belong over there. Get over the fact that you're butthurt that your little friend started a bunch of unnecessary nonsense and got called out. I mean, again, the level of fuckery that comes from these people is absolutely insane. Also, to add to the defamation meter, by the way, Tubby, you said that I am the one that got the bench donor to call your landlord. Well, number one, assuming that happened, you have now changed up yet again who called. At first, it was supposedly Megan Fox. Then it was supposedly D spills the tea and some other name. I don't know who the person was. Now that's become the bench donor. So in that, though, the funny thing is I've not talked to that person myself. Funny how that works. I've not ever had any direct communication with them at all. I have asked through another person to find out certain information, but I myself have not ever talked to them. The funny thing, though, is that imagine you screw over people like this, like the prize person, for example. You screw them over. You go and then you insult them live. You call them drunks and other stuff. And then you blame other people, but not yourself when you get blowback from it. It's weird how that works, isn't it? So that would be really fun to, like I said, that'd be really fun to discuss. Not only is this nasty piece of shit fucking, again, claim some really heinous things, you know, which I'm sure they'd not like in a countersuit, but they just continue and continue. Oh, these people, they're doing this. It's like, wait, what? And I think you're making these people mad. I mean, look at this stuff. Again, these letters are just wild. If it were one person too, okay. I'm not saying I've never had a problem with somebody, but my God, you know? I mean, here's what they were, you know, this is what the reality was. See, this is what they're getting and throwing a fit over. You're an effing line snake, they're being told. You know damn well she won almost $400 in prizes, giveaway or not. And she asked you to give a lesser prize to cover the postage. You're a big fat liar. I'm ashamed to say I once supported you. Shame on you. $400. I would be very irritated by that idea. You know, again, we saw when the mods broke off, we saw yet other complaints too. When Stacy and Flutter, when they broke off, we saw some people complaining there. We've seen other people complain again. These people make this a public thing. It's quite wild to see. But yes, this absolutely violates terms of service, because this is, again, them running giveaways like that anyway. It's questionable, but not delivering on something. And then telling people they're going to change up terms of. I'm surprised nobody's taking them to small claims or stuff like this. I mean, you're talking about somebody that's apparently overseas for it, so that helps them with this one. But my God, $400 and stuff. And they're like, well, I got a reason not to send it to you, you know? And I mean, they noted that the response was funny too, because you're a liar. Yeah, well, that got a response to Hale. Here's the response to that one. Check this out. And then we're going to look at that other document. We're going to look at our court case document, which is quite interesting. All this stuff is so crazy. I just like seeing it all. It's all loony. So check this. Here we are. Give me 1 minute. This was a response to Hale. How am I a liar? Anything I've sent to you was true. With proof, I'll happily put my hands up and say, I sent you things. I don't care. What? Because I believed in what you were doing at the time anyway. You proved to me I'm a liar, laughing my off. You tripped yourself up so many times, hypocrite. Anyone who is blocked has no chance to defend themselves or debunk, you say, what you say, or do that. So they posted again. They posted 2 letters. They posted that first one I showed you, and they posted a second one where they were asking again about the postage thing, because they were trying to get their their giveaway stuff. They noted with the second giveaway that they got that, hey, hey, thanks for the giveaway today. Just add it with the last one below. Hopefully the postage from the last giveaway will cover this as well. So like, hey, I've won a couple of things here. Maybe just combine shipping for me. It's just wild, man. People find that, when they're personally targeted, they start thinking, well, wait a minute, and I get it. I get that. When they see it personally aimed at them, then they think, well, maybe this person was full of crap about so many other things. Now, speaking of full of crap, today's fun document is one in our lawsuit. Now, the reason that this is popping up, by the way, if you haven't heard about the fun times, I thank all of you for being here, by the way. I appreciate all of you folks. I do every day. I missed you guys yesterday. I very much missed you guys yesterday. But this is a motion for a protective order. Now, what does this mean, you may ask? Well, this is Leslie Federigo's saying that she does not want to answer any questions whatsoever where the public might actually find out the answers. Why would she want that? Oh, well, because if the documents are public, then it will showcase how many things have just been jacked up, with regard to the lawsuits they filed, the things that they deny doing. You might actually see some proof. On top of that, this is complaining about the fact that we cover these cases. Yes. I mean, that is absolutely, look, that's exactly what this is too. Check this out. You can see it here with exhibits. Here's her complaining because, oh my God, not about thumbnails or anything else, but about actual coverage. She wants the courts to remove our First Amendment right to talk about these things. So this person, again, when they sued us, they talked about it nonstop publicly. They fed it to ye old PR team out there. I mean, they did everything in their power to make this a public spectacle. But when and remember, this wasn't a lawsuit for anybody that catches this and doesn't know about it. This was not something that just triggered out of the blue, because some people got their feels hurt by something. This person sued us. They sued us over things like being called a Muppet. That's right. Someone said that she looked like a Muppet, and that got to sue over that. Well, she dropped it. She dropped us off of it. Then kept threatening to put us back on it if we didn't go away and just shut down and cry in a corner. And when we told her, yeah, why don't you just put us back on there? Well, she did. Now, she said before that she does things like that, not to go to court about it, but just to put people on the record. That way, when people look up your name, it does its damage. It's not about the actual case, because as she said, she's not out there trying to go to court. She doesn't want to go to court. She drops it before she goes to court. But she's out there because it impacts the thing she's talked about a few times now. SEO, search engine optimization. It's kind of wild to think that somebody is doing this. This person also, they are a ex-lawyer. They retired in lieu of discipline. They love to put in the retired part. They just don't like to put in the in lieu of discipline part. That part. That's the good stuff to me. So let's look at this document together, shall we? Fun time stuff, I tell you. Oh, I like this one here. So this, and if you're like, man, there's been a lot of movement in this case lately, Tug. Yes, there actually has. Why? Because we are finally looking at hearings. Oh, on top of that, too, there was one other thing that I may forget to mention to you. I want to note it real quick. That is the thumbnail case. You know, the remnants that are sticking around from that. Yeah, that has a new judge. That's what, 4 judges now that have been on that in some way, shape, or form. Now, there's no problem with that. It's just the judge that was attached to it. That judge is retiring. So it's not some bad thing. You know, nothing bad is being caused by that. But still, I liked that judge. That judge was pretty much no nonsense. And of course, no nonsense judge. Well, got to drop that person, right? can't have somebody out there that might do a good job, or we gotta. We'll miss you. We'll miss you, Mr. Grabe. But check this out. So, come now, defendant Leslie Federigo's retired Florida licensed attorney. That right there, like I said, the way that is utilized is so deceptive. Because again, she didn't just retire because, hey, I'm tired of doing this. She retired in lieu of discipline. You know, this points out something that I actually think Florida, actually the bar should be lobbied out for, because they should never be able to just go out and say that they retired. If they retire in lieu of being disciplined, they should have to note that. They should never be able to tell people, you know, make it sound like it's part of their credentialing. Yeah, I'm a ex lawyer. Oh yeah, I retired. You know, again, that carries a certain connotation, and that's exactly why they say it. You know, they want to make it sound like they have some kind of credibility along with it. But pro se, yes, pro se, pursuant to Rule .1280D, requests that the court grant an order of protection for current and future discovery requests. That's right. She doesn't want people in the public, even though these people talk a huge game about how they can't wait till the truth comes out. Well, they do everything they can to silence the truth, don't they? I mean, they love it until you talk about something with it. If you heard a weird laugh, by the way, if you heard that was my video game. I was fighting while I'm talking. So I noticed the sound was on a little bit. It went I don't know. Did any of you hear that? If you did, bonus points for you, because it was pretty loud, but still. Man, maybe y'all heard that. But pro se, she wants the she wants that again. Current and future discovery requests. In the above-mentioned case, upon each plaintiff and their attorney as follows. Some background. The case arises from a series of online actions by the 4 plaintiffs. Aren't there actually 5? Aren't there 5? I mean, the LLC it's a plaintiff, so it doesn't count anymore. Okay, but each of whom operate YouTube channels and consistently targeted and harassed private citizens. Private citizens. This woman has gone out of her way to run how many businesses online? She actually, you're also, didn't you talk about how you saved a bunch of kids and did all of this other mess and put it in and talked about that publicly, you know, stating, oh, well, I did all of this as oh, maybe it wasn't kids. Maybe it was, I don't know, vulnerable people. I can't remember the fucking way it went. But she went to the media talking about this stuff. It's funny how people that go to the media selling themselves as saviors and more, they're just like, you cannot argue this stuff. You know, if you talk about me, I'm a private individual. How the fuck are you a private individual? Make that one make sense to me, you know? Make that one make sense. But her and Michael, for the purposes of generating content and financial gain. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, man. That's so funny. You know, again, we're suing her, by the way. She should be talking about how all the stuff that we're discussing that is or isn't true. But nope, she's instead saying, hey, I want the courts to be able to take away these people's First Amendment right to talk about cases. Isn't that interesting? That's absolutely insane. In April 2025, following an objective interview, you notice that right there, by the way, defendant Leslie Ferrigos regarding numerous lawsuits filed by plaintiff Jeremy Hale against various private individuals. Again, that word, private individuals, that is very, very much in dispute. Who was sued in that, by the way? You think all of those people, they would be considered not at least limited purpose public figures? Yeah, but this is the game that these kind of folks play. Again, and they play it in the courtroom for a specific reason, you know? They want to pretend, again, they want attention. They want fame. She wanted so fucking badly to be famous. Then when they get it, but it's not what they want it on their terms. If they don't get it on their terms, suddenly they're private individuals and you're harassing them. Isn't that interesting? You know? Isn't that? So it's always the spin to it. The defendants became the focus of plaintiffs' online attacks through their YouTube channels, working in collaboration, huh? Yep. You know, it's funny when you're like, hey, I'm going to point at laugh at morons. Oh my God, you're collaborating. It's funny how they claim that they have no conspiracy and that it's terrible if someone ever alleges any type of conspiracy about stuff where idiots actually talked about forming up and doing something. But man, they'll throw that accusation around real quick on other people, you know? You notice that there. Notably, 10 of these lawsuits, by the way, it's not 10 lawsuits. It's one lawsuit. But hey, don't let that get in the way. You know, again, when you go through and you look at that, does that deal with the stuff that we're talking about here? Namely, Leslie Ferrigos filing a garbage lawsuit and putting us in it twice? Absolutely not. But hey, now during pendency of the case there, do you notice of the case number? Notice the case number. So it's one case. It's not 10 lawsuits. She even points out the lie there. It's actually one lawsuit that is brought against 10 people. Much different. But it's funny. Again, this is somebody that sometimes I want to say, oh, they're doing this stuff on purpose. They can't be this dumb. And then other times I'm like, well, I don't know. Maybe they aren't this dumb. You know, maybe they are. During that was dismissed, plaintiffs created and monetized content centered on legal percent. Oh my God. I created and monetized content. Holy shit. Shut down me. Shut down law and crime. Shut down all of the places that cover cases, right? Nobody can cover a case ever again. Shut it down, baby. Shut it down. What an idiot. You know what's funny too is these morons, they tried to get into the game of monetizing it as well. The only thing is that they're not good at it. They have to come up with fake essay claims. They have to come up with fake claims about people grooming and shit like that because they can't just go in and cover something. You know, it's funny too. She created this thing. She created this series of videos she called the Ho-Dunk Hillbillies, wherein she not only mocks and derides like one or two people, she goes after just slews of people. But that doesn't matter. That doesn't count. We haven't even got to that stuff. They used this lawsuit to harass and humiliate those defendants. They were suing. We all sued. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. They were suing? You know, Tweedledum and Tweedledummer here are alleging that all of us were involved in the lawsuit that we were not involved in. In fact, some of us just covered a case. But somehow that becomes everybody's again. All of this stuff will come up in hearings. Oh my God. By falsely reporting on the lawsuit. Falsely reporting. Let's see. What's Exhibit A, by the way? You know, use the lawsuit to falsely report. Let's see what the falsely reporting is, by the way. Where's the proof of false reporting? Let's see. So the first one is lips updated more, so you can actually see. These are requests from her. This is another one that showcases a screenshot saying there's a new filing in the lip suit, and we've got it. There's more body cam about something else. This doesn't have anything to do with that at all because she's adding in this. We sued news. She felt big ? There. This is about a different thing that doesn't even have anything to do with it at all. Where's the proof of lying about anything? Well, just believe us, Judge. Believe us. Additionally, during this time, they created characters out of defendant Leslie and Michael Federigo's while making defamatory comments about the defendants. Characters. What does that even mean? Is she talking about Muppets? Does she mean people showcased morons as Muppets? That's exactly what she means, by the way. That is. So when she says people created characters, they showcased her as a Muppet. And she is so butt-chapped about it that she's like, and we sued. And also we started calling people groomers and all kinds of other shit to try to fuck up their lives. Oh, man. Asserting multiple claims, including defamation, invasion of privacy, and have sought to have the filing sealed to prevent further harassment. Oh my God, what an idiot. While the court granted their request to seal the filings. What now? Wait, where? What? Granted who? Where? You know, again, Exhibit A, when you go back to it, granted what? What now? When did this happen? Where's some proof of that too? Let's see. Let's go through Exhibit A. Let's see. Anything about sealed? This is not about her case, by the way, before. This was not about that case. 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 And more, again, she's just wholesale chucking things out there and lying about shit. Just absolutely lying about shit. This is amazing. My bad here. I got to get back to the right page. It's like, wait a minute. What now? While the court granted their request, the plaintiffs exploited this lawsuit on their YouTube channels to generate additional online content, prompting Leslie Federico's to voluntarily dismiss her claims in an effort to avoid further harassment by the plaintiffs and their followers. Again, what a bunch of bullshit. That whole line is full of so much bullshit. Like, oh my God. What is going on here? Oh, yes, I got them to seal the files. Yeah, no. You didn't get them to do shit. You know, it's amazing. She does the same thing, but I mean, she just wholesale lies about stuff. Like I'm stunned by the level of just making shit up. I mean, I've seen some crazy lawsuits with crazy people, but my God, I mean, she's off in the weeds, just making up loony stuff, you know? Give me 1 second here. I'm pulling up. I lost my chat for a second. Give me 1 minute. My my freaking phone went into update mode. That's how I watch you guys. So give me 1 second. I try to keep up with what y'all are doing or saying, but it just shut it down there. God, what a bunch of lunacy. Shortly after this voluntary dismissal, plaintiffs initiated the instant lawsuit. Yeah. Here's the reality again, folks, for any of you who missed out on this. She comes in and she does an interview and gets ignored. That's the reality. So what does she do? She does more and more stupid, crazy stuff. Then Just Jay makes a joke about her after she continues to do stupid things. Most of us, the majority of us, had ignored her. And he barely gave her any attention. Right off the bat, all these people, they can't take it. So her plan was, I'm going to sue right off the bat. Now, she tried to sue number one. She wanted to sue over the Muppet thing. And number two, she wanted to sue over lawyer because she's like, because people said that she was disbarred. She's like, I'm not disbarred, I'm retired. You know? That'd be a hard lawsuit right there. A really hard lawsuit. Considering, again, in lieu of discipline, that'd be a very difficult one. And her point in bringing lawsuits, she's said before, it's to just put them on record and dismiss them. She's done this with a lot of people. Her own family members, clients. She sued the bar. I mean, she sued her own husband. Some of the claims she's made too are just, I mean, they're not good, let's say. Her hubby, I mean, I don't know what's up with him, but man, he definitely lets her go to town on him because some of the stuff, I mean, here's a list that Melissa put together. Check this out. Let me show you this. And this may not include everything. We don't know the type of cases they cover. We have no idea about everything. But here's some stuff that you can see. You know, 1 second. This is crazy. I mean, when you look at everything. I mean, with her, just with her man who is appearing on shows, by the way, and they're talking about their perfect marriage and all this other shit. She had gone into the court and claimed multiple times that you can see the claims there. DV with kids, DV with children. So she claimed that he was an accoster, we will say. Those get dropped. But you can see all the other. You can see like the Jeremy Hales, Look at all the dismissals. Look at this ridiculous mess. And there's more, man. There's more out there. This just shows you a little taste of some stuff. She's been involved in so much insanity. I mean, again, she's gone after people that she worked with. She's gone after employees. She's gone after clients. Gone after family. God. I mean, it's nuts when you start looking through it. But most people, after they get a taste of that, they're like, oh, no, I'm not, and it's like, no. Told her, look, after she did it once, I was like, you do it again, because she kept threatening. I was like, she said, well, I've removed you guys, but I can bring it anytime I want. You better not do X, Y, or Z. And she's just sitting out there, using God knows how many accounts, talking about other people. She never stops, ever. She runs all these crazy accounts, and she just keeps doing stuff. But she wants it where other people, and it's probably worked in the past for her. She's probably been able to silence people with this kind of behavior, Like if you go and look up some of the videos and shit that she's done with family, it's so crazy. But not for us. But look, initiated. Plaintiffs then delayed prosecution of this action for 1 year. What? You mean that we've been sitting there waiting on docket? It's been filed. We've not delayed anything. That's the stupidest thing ever. Civil lawsuits, they run at the speed that the court wishes. You do not get to control the speed. If you did, that would be amazing. What? This, again, did we get to run the clock up? It's pretty funny too that people that are encouraging another person to delay a case for 5 months, they cheered that on when BBB talked about how they delayed a federal case for 5 months. Yeah, they were okay with that. They were cool with it. Bankruptcy. Oh, these people have been okay with doing that. Again, they like delays in the courtroom. If they like to delay in the courtroom themselves. But then they're like, no. Actually, other people are delaying. Isn't that so nuts? Continuing to focus their YouTube content on the now dismissed federal lawsuit. I'll tell you, Leslie, you sue me, I'm going to make it a point to talk about it every week. I am from here until eternity. I'm going to be like, hey, remember that woman that sued me twice because she wanted to harass me? Her and all the voices in her head. They decided to get together and come after me. Yeah. I mean, you chose to do that. You chose to add in a bunch of people and to try to harass them with a bogus lawsuit that you never planned on going forward with. That's on you, man. That is totally on you. She didn't want to do that either, because ultimately, when they get down to it, all these people know one ugly fact that comes up again and again. Lawsuits cost money. Even if you have like them where they can do their own filings, just put whatever in the fucking court. By the way, Leslie, I find it disturbing that you're pro se and yet you're electronically filing things. Don't you find that messed up, folks? She kicked her lawyer to the curb. She's pro se. She doesn't have access on her own to the electronic filings. You have to have a lawyer to do that. She is filing, though, still. She's filing under the other person while she's filing. That's pretty jacked up. That's a weird one. Yeah, she's using Michael there, and yet, when she's doing this, he's not her lawyer. And this isn't his filing. This is her filing. She's making it very clear. This is her. She said at the very beginning, hey, this is me. I'm pro se. So, How's that work? I don't know. I guess that'll be something that gets brought up too, because she's not supposed to be electronically filing shit. Upon its dismissal with prejudice. Wait, what? Wait, what the fuck? What? So look at this. This is crazy. Look, she switched back to talking about this lawsuit up here. So she went from this. Just look at this. This is so confusing here. She's talking about the Jeremy Hale's lawsuits, as she says, which is one suit, right? Then she talks about it getting dismissed. With that, again, it was dismissed for 8 people. It's still in play for 2 until we see how that goes out. But she switches back. I mean, she goes from it. Again, we go back down through here. I mean, it's so confusing. Because she says this here is supposed to, I suppose, be about that. When she's talking about, while the court granted their request to seal file, what? They exploited this lawsuit. Now it says this. Shortly after the voluntary dismissal, plaintiffs initiated this lawsuit, right? I'm just checking something. I'm trying to follow this, okay? They then delayed prosecution for a year, continuing to focus on the now dismissed federal lawsuit. So this is supposed to say it was switching back to this is confusing as shit. Upon its dismissal with prejudice, plaintiffs shifted the entirety of their online focus to the present litigation. Oh, so now that's her conspiracy there. She's like, actually, the reason that this is moving forward, it isn't the court. Oh, no, it isn't when their docket clears up. It's because of this other thing. You notice her entire argument, it's so bizarre. I can't even tell half the time what the fuck she's talking about in this. Plaintiffs continue to use this lawsuit as content for profit. Yes, we absolutely have the right to talk about a lawsuit that was a response to another person making lawsuits. It's so strange. Again, when she also commented on said federal lawsuit. In fact, she put out an opinion for other people. That's something that is also left out of that. You know, she herself was commenting on the federal lawsuit, did content about it. You know, when she thought she had her get rich scheme. Until I'm guessing she put out some claims that she probably doesn't want to meet in a court of law. They will, by the way, be part of a filing, Leslie. Absolutely will be part of a filing. But they continue to use this by publishing everything filed and all discovery requests filed. Yes, we absolutely have the right. Court documents are public records. We have every right to talk about filings in a courtroom. Again, these people, they want so much overreach. They want to be able to silence people, because when discovery comes around, what she's going to do, you know what's going to happen. First of all, we're going to talk about the lawyer part. We're going to talk about what she filed and everything else in an attempt to get her out as a vexatious litigant, because she has filed all of these cases pro se. She has filed so many pro se. On top of that, we're going to talk about claims that she has made that she cannot back up. Again, her and her lawyer hubby, first of all, she straight up claimed that she had been essayed by another person, which absolutely the discovery on that, it should be public. She should not be able to claim with impunity that somebody did something terrible and then not follow that up. For her, again, she claimed for myself that I used therapy to groom a child into marriage. And when we get to a court, I will fucking wreck her with that. That is so easily disproven. It is, it's absurdity. But she decided to put that out there as if it were true. So, of course, it's not just about showing what's there. It's also about showing the truth about what these people have claimed, because they want to ruin people's lives. They don't want you talking about this stuff, and not only because of it exposing who they are, but it will showcase what they've done to other people and showcase exactly who other people are that they've tried, again, when they've tried to destroy and defame. Oh, it'll expose them for that. Oh, it'll be great too. So much glorious stuff comes from that. While they report on the defendant with the intent to humiliate them. Again, Exhibit A. All of this is shoved under that quote unquote Exhibit A. Isn't that funny? With the intent, you know, if your own words and shit, if they humiliate you, I think that's a you problem. I don't think that's a me problem, you know? I think if a person is out there and they've said some absolutely horrendous, stupid shit, and they're embarrassed by that because, you know, the reality of it is they weren't just wrong, but they were very wrong. Is that a me problem or is that a them problem? You know? I mean, for real. Do you think that's a me problem? Do you think I should be forced into silence because they're embarrassed by their own history? Do you think we should have to shut up and just eat that? Or do you think that, like a public record, again, they want to shut down public records because they embarrass them, and they should embarrass them. Jeez, man. I mean, when you get, when you have a judge that is writing 50 pages about you because you have gone out and you used AI and it's so flagrant, it's unreal. I think people should know about that. I think people should know about who these people and what they are. I mean, again, you're talking about people that they continue to promote themselves as even after not being a lawyer, they still have talked about, you know, oh, you want guidance on what to do about, you know, with your kids and this, well, take it from an ex-lawyer. Let me tell you about this guidebook I'm selling. I find that stuff very disturbing. So, yeah, I mean, if you got people out there that are doing that, and people should know who exactly they are messing with. I mean, what's wild, again, she said that she puts documents, she puts things on the record so people will read her claims and believe what she says. So she wants people to read documents that she files. She wants them looked up. She wants people's names to suffer for it, but she doesn't want the truth about what she is or what she does. She doesn't want any of that out there. Okay. Interesting. No. You know what else that tells you too? She has the expectation that anything that comes out in discovery will be humiliating. It will disprove these people because they've lied about a lot. Again, they lied. For example, they lied about the school thing. The school thing where they say that it shut down the education for 3,000 students. They said that we contacted a school that she was working at. Actually, at first, she said that Jeremy Hale's contacted, that he wrote hundreds of emails, and it ended up shutting down a school, a whole district that, I mean, there was just so much insanity she puts in. Then it changes up to a bunch of us had written or called and done these, things to try to shut it down. So she adds in a bunch more of us. And at first, she states things like, well, I don't know if this person or that person was involved. But then she changes that up and says, actually, everybody, all of you people were involved in it. And that she has proof. In fact, the school sent out a letter about it. Well, it turns out that the letter that she's referencing, if it's the letter, there's only one letter that can be sent out. The letter that she's referencing, though, it deals with First Amendment auditors. Again, those people, they'll go to banks, they'll go to different businesses, and they'll ask questions, or they'll record, or they'll do things that they're allowed to do. They'll film from sidewalks, and they're absolutely allowed to do that. And the school wasn't, for their part, just to make this clear, they weren't saying anything bad about that. What they were telling their staff to do, not to get involved. Don't cause any problems with that. These people, they're allowed to do that. So it was warning, hey, don't interact, don't do anything there. Which is, again, what the school should do. It was smart. But it has nothing to do with us, I'm not a First Amendment auditor. Megan's not a First Amendment auditor. We're not out there standing out in front of a school like that. That's what they mean. Again, do we stand up for First Amendment rights? Yes, but that's not what that was meant for. It was meant for, again, different types of people. So, I mean, she lied about that. She lied about people. There's just so many different things. And these things, they were presented to audiences as truth. They were used by multiple people to malign all of us. So absolutely, that stuff coming out in Discovery, of course they want to shut that down, because it will show you 100% these people have done everything they can to do damage to other people's reputations. So procedural background. May 25th, 2026, plaintiffs publicly filed notice of admissions. Yes, along with 30 questions they directed to defendant Leslie Federigo's, intended for response. Yes. Rather than properly serving these discovery requests on Ms. Federigo's, it was very proper, and subsequently filing a notice of requested admissions to the court, plaintiffs chose to file the questions directly and make them publicly accessible. Oh no, we can't make our questions publicly accessible? Again, notice that, running from the public. An amazing theme, isn't it? She doesn't want the public to see what's going to happen in this case. And of course not. Why would she want the public to see what's happening in this? I mean, hey, she went out and went after, again, isn't it interesting that when we ask for something, that she throws a shit fit. She's like, oh God, you can't do it that way. On the same date, plaintiffs Megan Fox and myself hosted a live stream on their YouTube channel, which has an audience exceeding 75. Lazy ass. Look, she took the 730K and she shortened it down to exceeding 75,000. Let's see, what day was that, by the way? Let me make sure of the date that was on. I gotta check something. 1 second. God, she's so lazy. I just got to check something real fast. I want to know what day the 25th was. That was a Monday. So actually, that's on Megan Fox's channel. Megan Fox's channel. Let's see. Let me look up Megan Fox's subscribers. Megan Fox has a great show. She has over 50,000 subscribers, which is not chump change in any way, but she does not have 75,000. She actually has 54,000 people. So that was on a Megan Fox day. Isn't that interesting? Oopsie. During the broadcast, plaintiffs read the discovery request line by line. Oh my God. With the apparent intent to humiliate Miss Rodriguez before their viewers. So again, she's saying it's all true. That's the fuck thing. The only way that this is humiliating is if it comes with truth. Huh. In addition, plaintiffs displayed and discussed recent filings. Oh my God, we discussed filings? You mean the filings where you copied and pasted shit? And you felt humiliated by that? I don't think that's a me problem, lady. I think that's a you problem. Oh my God. If you've missed this, by the way, she wants it shut down. Us talking about the prior documents because she decided to go and to copy and paste a filing. She copied a prior filing made by our lawyer talking about there's stuff with Jeremy Hales in it. She decided to copy and paste a reply to it. And in it, it was so bad she forgot to take out all types of just evidence, like straight up evidence that she'd copied and pasted. The best of which, well, I'll show you a couple of things with that. Okay. This is what she's talking about it humiliating her. I mean, look at this madness. So this is her filing, by the way. In it, when she copied, you know how it says page 2 or 3 or whatever? Look, it's right here. Where she copied and pasted it. So it has judicial authority to sanction abusive, page 2 of 7 litigant. You can see that, right? You also, with the descriptors, when it's talking about Jeremy Hales, when she copies and pastes, she talks about him being a her. She uses the descriptor over and over again as a she. She does, however, remove a couple of things that are important in this. She removes words like pro se. See, one of the problem with filing something and saying, hey, I want somebody labeled a vexatious litigant is the fact that a vexatious litigant has to be pro se. She tried to claim that Jeremy Hales was a vexatious litigant. Basically, her answer was, he is, not me. That was her answer to stuff. But she copied and pasted his filing. And yeah, I'm sure that was embarrassing because it was I had secondhand embarrassment reading the damn thing. It was pretty awful. But if she's embarrassed by her own handiwork there, humiliated by it, is that my problem? On top of that, again, they had a grand old time talking about when she filed litigation against us. Did I try to shut down her First Amendment rights to talk about this stuff? Did I say, oh man, we need her to not be able to talk about cases? Absolutely not. That's the thing. Like all these cowards, man, that's what they are. They're all cowards when you get down to it because they do horrible things. And then if you reply and your reply makes them look bad, they start trying to shut you down. They do their damnedest. And it shows exactly who they are. It's like I said, you answer lies with truth. And they freak the fuck out. And that's not my problem. You know? If the truth hurts, honey, that ain't my problem. That's all what they all do, though. You know? That's one, I hate to say this, but that's one thing I can give paint chips and the Volms, you know? They try many things, but they have yet to try to remove First Amendment freaking abilities yet. You know, they whine and cry and throw tantrums. Well, depending on which one it is. Volpe definitely throws tantrums, but they have yet to, well, at least publicly. Privately, are they flagging stuff? Maybe, I don't know. But, you know, publicly. But anyway, I digress. So, submitted by Federico's, using the live stream as a platform to ridicule and disparage both her filings and her character. Oh no. I talked about her character. I talked about her being a liar. I talked about her making false claims about myself and trying to ruin my reputation with her lawyer husband. And again, it's funny because I gave her and her lawyer husband plenty of time to try to fix that. You know, I'm, like I said, I'm not one for bar complaints or anything else, but I guess we're there. I guess we are there. Because, again, they just think, you know, they do whatever. It's just like what they did with Hales and claiming all these horrible things. You notice they deleted it all. All of them deleted it all. And then they pretend, oh, we've never done that. So the 30 admission questions seeking, what? The 30 admission questions seeking questions. What? The 30 admission questions seeking questions. What does that even mean? Including admissions about, oh, look at her. She's trying to close it down because she made public claims. It's on the docket itself. And she wants to say, oh, we need to shut that down because minors. That's really interesting, isn't it? So she's trying to weaponize. She weaponized them in the accusation. She dropped it. And now she's trying to weaponize it again. Isn't that wild? Again, you can see it on the docket. It's right there in public on the docket. You don't even have to, nobody pulled up the document and put it in there. They're asking questions. Hey, did you file this? Did you or did you not? She's like, that's about kids. No, it's about your fucking behavior, lady. And you are doing everything in your power to try to silence people so they can't talk about what you did. Say, that's what they do, man. That's what they do. Because again, she's a liar. Yes, Leslie, I said you are a liar. You are an absolute liar. You know? You've lied about many people. You lied about myself. Provably. It will be part of this stuff. You are not going to fucking shut down people being able to talk about it. Argument. Good cause exists to protect the defendant from harassment, embarrassment, and abuse of the discovery process. Under Rule 1.2a, 0D, protective orders on motion by party or by parties from whom discovery is sought and for good cause shown, the court in which the action is pending may, there's a big thing, may make any order to protect a party or person from annoyance, embarrassment, oppression, or undue burden. You remember when the judge talked about how Lynette Preston, when she said that she wanted to shut down the public because of embarrassment and humiliation. And the judge was like, nah, that's not a reason to shut down people's rights. Yeah, same thing there. But let's see. Requires, including one or more, that discovery not be had. Okay, well, we are going to have some discovery. That the discovery may be had only on specific terms or conditions. Look, she's wanting this stuff. She's wanting discovery to either be shut down. Look at what she's demanding. Either shut discovery down totally. So don't let them ask me questions about anything about my behavior, or Discovery may be had only on specified terms and conditions, including a designation of the time or place or the allocation of expense. Yeah, that's how usually stuff works anyway. You know, you use it over whatever fits into those discovery requests. That the discovery may be had only by method of discovery other than that selected by party seeking discovery. This has very little, like, what the fuck does this have to do with what you, oh my God. That certain matters not be inquired into. Yeah, she doesn't want you to be able to ask about, again, did you or did you not? It doesn't ask her about the details of the cases, by the way. It asks her, she's saying, I didn't do all of this. Okay, well, did you file this or did you not? I can't answer that publicly. If I answer that publicly, I'll look bad. You have got to be kidding me. Again, that's her argument with stuff. And then look at how she's trying so hard to get around this. Holy Lord. Man, all these people, again, you remember all of them talking about how they couldn't wait to get on a stand and to talk about things. You've heard that from every single one of these people. I can't wait. I can't wait to tell you the truth. Okay, well, you've got plenty of time to talk about the truth. Here it is. Talk about it. Knock it out. No, I can't do that. If I talk about that, then it's embarrassing. It's ridiculing. It's defaming me. Isn't that wild, man? That the discovery be conducted with no one present except persons designated by the court. Oh, you better fucking believe, hey, I'm going to attend. Yo, discover. Oh, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there with bells on, lady. I will be there. See, that's another thing. When Leslie filed her bullshit, when these people have threatened stuff, they thought like yours truly, because I don't use my face, I would not show up to things. It would cause me some kind of burden. Well, guess what, baby? I don't give a fuck. I love it. I love the fact that, again, they thought it would be a way to kind of cause me a problem. And I'm like, no, that doesn't cause me any problem whatsoever. I'm okay with it. I am absolutely okay with it. I'm not letting anybody, again, I'm not going to be threatened and shut down by people like this. Like they try though. But yeah, look how scared she seems of our questions. Like the stuff, again, it was very basic questions, you know? Like our questions weren't anything like probative, really. They were just general questions. We haven't even gotten to the real discovery yet. Again, we're just asking her, hey, did you or did you not file this? Did you or did you not file that? You know, because again, she's claiming that she is not a vexatious litigant. To meet that, you have to meet specific criteria. So we're asking her, hey, with that criteria, did you do this? Actually, here, let's note that. You want to see what that is? I mean, let's actually pull that up real fast. You know, I think that's fair. I think it's fair to show you what we asked her real quickly, since she's complaining and saying this is overburdensome, right? I think it's fair. It's very basic stuff. To try to shut this down and to say it's embarrassing, again, I feel like that's more admission than anything. So check this out. This is what was there, by the way. These are her. So admit on May 19th, you filed a case, this case here, right? Admit that you filed a lawsuit referenced in request for admission 1 through Michael. Admit that you went after Jeremy, Elephant Shoe, George, Megan, myself. Admit the lawsuit referenced alleged claims of defamation. She already noted that. Invasion of privacy. She just noted that. So she's okay with throwing out a bunch of this stuff when she wants to weaponize it. Isn't that interesting? Emotional distress that you filed, again, to amend that lawsuit. You acknowledge that had not yet been served with process, that the case was dismissed there, that none of the named defendants were served, that you voluntarily dismissed that. Also, prior litigation, too. Admit to this stalking against this person. Admit about it being kicked to the curb. Here's another one. Admit that one also was dismissed. Libel slander, that it was dismissed. Another libel slander, again, against family members, by the way. Against mama. Isn't it crazy when you go after your mom? Then you have the one against hubby. Then you have another one against hubby. Then you have another one. I filed another case here as an appellant. So you can see all these pro se. Again, that's it. That's the questions. She's saying that is overburdensome to ask publicly about. Do you see anything in there that, what would be what would be embarrassing? Again, the fact that she did it. That's the embarrassing part. That a depot, after being sealed, be opened only by order of the court, trade secrets or other confidential. She just copies whole items. You notice that the parties simultaneously file specified documents or information enclosed in sealed envelopes to be opened as directed by the court. The court should grant a protective order in this case because good cause exists to shield the defendant from further annoyance, embarrassment, and oppression resulting from the plaintiff's misuse of discovery for purposes unrelated to legitimate litigation. She meets, again, the criteria for a vexatious litigant. She is filed within a specific time frame, a specific number of pro se filings, and she is being asked about that. And again, she's like, that's embarrassing and it's ridiculing. Like I said, all these people talked about how they couldn't wait to get to the court. They couldn't wait to showcase how wrong we all were and how we're all liars and frauds. And then when they get near the court, they're like, nope, can't. So under the rules of civil procedure, it's designed to prevent discovery from being a tool of harassment or public humiliation. Here, plaintiffs have repeatedly demonstrated a pattern of weaponizing the discovery process by publicizing discovery requests and filings on highly trafficked YouTube channels with the intent, or the stated intent. See, that's some shit. That's some defamatory bullshit too. The stated intent to ridicule. I can laugh at how stupid something is. Are you saying that laughing, if I say I'm going to laugh, it's stupid? If something's stupid, you say that is a stated or ridicule attempt about, are you saying that you're stupid? Again, I would think that if these documents are out there, you would 100% want to be vindicated by the record, and you'd want to be vindicated in coverage. And if we're out there covering it, she also said, another thing that works against her, she stated that we've covered every document. That means we've covered hers too. She even noted that. Isn't that weird? Oh man, we covered hers too. Huh. They must be pretty bad if they're ridicule. If you think if you think it looks that bad, I mean, you must be filing some awful fucking filings. Oh my God. Plaintiffs have read discovery requests aloud. Oh my God. and displayed court filings during live streams to tens of thousands of viewers, exposing sensitive personal information. Sensitive personal information again. Well, another lie. Another absolute lie. And again, everybody is allowed to look at and to read court filings. If a court decided to take away my ability to talk about a case, holy shit, too. I can't wait to tell people about this, actually, outside of here. Because, again, these people, what they want to do is they want to shut down any type of discussion about what they have been doing behind the scenes, what they have done to other folks. I mean, she ended up getting dismissed. She had to retire in lieu of discipline. She doesn't want people talking about that stuff. Of course, that's embarrassing, but that isn't us embarrassing her. That's her own actions embarrassing herself because she did some jacked up stuff and she was right there getting in trouble for it. In legal arguments, exposing legal arguments to public scrutiny for entertainment and profit rather than any valid legal purpose. I have every right to talk about legal documentation. This is what kills me about the whole anti-Hales people. They claim that we show too much proof. I mean, think about it. They want to shut us down from being able to show transcripts, from being able to show screenshots from their actual words. They don't want any of that for court filings. They are complaining that we show too much proof. Have you ever seen anything like that? I mean, I think that's wild. Just personally. They're too honest with their stuff when they're showing it. This conduct extends beyond zealous advocacy and constitutes a clear attempt to chill the defendant's person. Oh my God. Oh my God. To chill her participation, chilling it in the judicial process by subjecting her to targeted widespread public humiliation. Moreover, the plaintiff conduct threatens the integrity of the judicial process by undermining the confidentiality and decorum ordinarily maintained at pretrial discovery. Normally, she's been able to do all of this to people in the dark. And if you expose it, that would be bad. Isn't that wild? Well, typically, we're allowed to do this and nobody gets to show it. Nobody's the wiser. But right now, the court is empowered to act where discovery is used to annoy, embarrass, or oppress. And the facts here present precisely these circumstances. I wonder what ChatGPT, I haven't shown it this one. Let me show it real quick. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna give this one to the old ChatGPT. I think it will find that one funny because this one is pretty bad. Again, they loved talking about when they filed lawsuit against us. When she did it, oh man, they had a field day talking about it. They were more than happy. And again, did you see anybody moving to shut them down here? Did you see me going, oh man, I got to shut that down? Nope. I love it. I kind of really love it. What is it? LN. Which one is this? Like I said, I'm feeding it over to, there it is. LF. I'm making sure I'm getting the right one. I'm curious what it'll say. Give me 1 minute. There it is. Whoops, that's the wrong one. There's so many stupid things that come up in these filings. I feel like we're inundated with so many great things. So look at LF. that he wants to talk publicly about her conduct. Let's see what it says. Yeah, this is what it says about this. It says, reading it as a piece of litigation, the part that jumps out isn't just please protect discovery. It's that it appears to drift into please stop my opponents from talking about publicly filed court documents on YouTube. That's a much bigger ask. For example, the motion specifically asks the court to order the plaintiffs to stop taking legal filings, in this case, and legally interpreting them to their audience for content and profit. That's a pretty remarkable request. Courts routinely issue protective orders about confidential discovery, like trade secrets, medical records, private information, etc. But asking a court to stop people from discussing publicly filed court documents is a very different thing. The irony is that the motion complains about requests for admission, asking whether she filed prior lawsuits, stalking petitions, appeals, and other court matters. Yet those requests appear to be asking about publicly filed cases and dispositions. The admissions themselves are mostly, did you file X? Was this dismissed? Did you file Y? They're largely yes or no questions. The funniest section, it says to it, is probably where the motion complains that the plaintiffs read the request for admission on a live stream and discuss them publicly, then ask the court to stop non-lawyers from interpreting legal filings. Translating into internet language, Your Honor, they keep reading these things I file and then talking about them. Another thing that stands out is Exhibit A is essentially a collection of thumbnails, screenshots, live streams, and channel content being offered as evidence that people are covering the case online. The motion theory appears to be they file things, the other side discusses the filings online, the discussion is embarrassing, therefore discovery should be protected and discussion should stop. The weak spot in that logic is that embarrassment alone is not enough. Protective orders are generally aimed at preventing abuse of discovery, not preventing public commentary about litigation. From a purely comedic standpoint, the filing sometimes reads like, I would like a protective order against YouTube. And courts generally don't exist to protect litigants from people saying, look what got filed today, especially when the filing itself was filed in court and becomes part of a case record. The most eyebrow-raising request remains the one asking the court to order plaintiffs to stop interpreting filings for their audience. That's the kind of request that immediately makes people ask, wait, you're asking a judge to stop people from discussing court documents? Also, she's trying to say you're not a lawyer, therefore. Well, she's not a lawyer either. She's talked about items online. So to say that people don't have the right, non-lawyers, well then. But the court is empowered to act where discovery is used to annoy, embarrass, or oppress, and the facts here present precisely these circumstances was ruled to remedy. Limiting discovery to those persons designated by the court limiting it to is necessary to defend, to protect the defendant from further harm, to prevent the exploitation of these proceedings from online content, and to preserve the fair administration of justice. Oh, so if we talk about it, there won't be the fair administration. Are you telling me that the judge can't make decisions within a case fairly if I talk about what's happening in a court case? That's a pretty fucked up thing to say about the court. Plaintiffs have a history of filing meritless lawsuits against private citizens for their YouTube content for profit, as evidenced by 10 lawsuits over the past year. Again, one lawsuit with one. It's crazy. You'll have a real problem with that, especially since, you know how many lawsuits I've filed? This one. That's right. One lawsuit ever. So, and again, I told you, if you file a garbage lawsuit and come after me that way, I would definitely come back, because you are coming after me and you're threatening me. You will not threaten me. I don't respond well to threats. And what does she do with that? Well, she pretends that somehow that's what they do. They blame other people for their content. Their content, not their conduct, their content. But plaintiff Leslie Federico seeks the court to issue protective order pursuant to on all discovery requests in this case by limiting information to be viewed by only those designated by the court. Plaintiff Leslie Federico also requests the court to order the plaintiffs who are not lawyers, to stop taking legal filings in this case and legally interpreting them for their audience for content. You have to be a lawyer to talk about the cases. What the actual fuck? She's not a lawyer. Again, you're not a lawyer, Leslie. You know how many cases you've talked about? The ones you filed? I know you think of yourself as a lawyer, but you're not. You got snatched away. Wherefore, they want the court to grant this motion protective order against everybody, seeking the court to issue protective order on all discovery requests by limiting this information to be viewed by only those designated by the court. Again, she's afraid you're going to see the proof. Like I said, when you look at what she's done over the years, it's going to really show that she has filed some meritless bullshit. And she's bragged about it publicly. I can't wait to put that in front of a judge and be like, look, she has bragged about doing this and bragged about how this ruins other people's reputations. So what she essentially wants is to be able to ruin all of our reputations and say we did X, Y, or Z. And to then, when we turn around and we file something because of that, she's like, nope, you don't have the right to correct the record on that. Isn't that wild? All right, let's see. Her exhibits again. Exhibit A. This is the one that she keeps referring to. Exhibit A. First exhibit here is lip suit update and more body cam. So the lip suit update and more body cam. Again, you can see thumbnail. You can see the document itself. Us too, we're talking about it. So we're actually reading a document. Wow, what monsters. You also have Rumble's side of that too. Talking about, oh my God, look, we're reading over these things where they ask, have you filed these items? And if you look at the items here too, these are items where she's gone after other people. And again, she kicked them to the curb. You see where tonight, the new filing and the lip suit, we got it plus body cam stuff. Then this isn't even about her. This is Levy County prosecutor humiliated. Does that have anything to do with the case whatsoever? No, it has to do with something else. It has to do with another lawsuit. Is there a reason that I can't talk about that lawsuit too now? Are you trying to make it where I can never talk about a lawsuit? Absolutely. They're trying to get a court to step in and to make it where I cannot talk about any lawsuit. Megan can't talk about any lawsuit. That's some fucked up mess. Here, oh, look at me. Oh, my goodness. Live, we sued news. She flopped big. Anti-Hales fails. What the hell's case news? Then you have this, which is not. This is Preston threatening me. Is your name Michelle Preston? Is this me filing a court case too? See, this is actually about another person threatening to file cases against other people. So is that her? No, she just wants to shut down our ability to talk about anything else. Here's Hales. She called the cops on me. Okay. Cops called by lying lawyer. Cops called on lawyer in hiding. Cops called, we're suing them. Okay. So she calls the cops. She alleges all kinds of crazy shit, just like these people normally do. They get called out on it. They don't like that. They don't like it at all. And again, I understand why, because it points out what kind of bullshit they do to people. They try to ruin people's lives. They lie about them. They go again. They try to weaponize police. They will do anything to do harm to people. It's insane conduct. Let's see. Federal court update. Ohio decision. Oh, man. An Ohio decision. And it didn't show up for court. Again, can't talk about any case. Yeah. Ohio court. Again, the fun thing about Ohio, they've actually had a protective order plus. They've had extensions of said protective order. Isn't that weird? Strange, isn't it? Some more. Ohio. More incriminating evidence. Huh? We won in court? Oh, no. They actually won a case. This is filing too. This is, okay, so this is them proving, or her proving, that there was one case involving multiple defendants. That doesn't mean there were 10 cases filed. What an idiot. What an absolute moron. Oh my God. Let's see. I'm skipping to see if there's, is that it? Is that all that she put on there? I thought we had another exhibit. So yeah, that's her attempt to muzzle us all. What do you think of that? Isn't that amazing, folks? All right. I think we'll call it here. Let's look at, give me a second. Let me see real quick something. You want to hear a funny exchange? Would y'all like to hear something funny before we quit? I was looking over something real quick. I guess it stopped. Let's see. I'm pulling all this up real quick. Give me a second. So today I wrote Vomit, because Vomit wrote an article about me yesterday. They're trying to their excuse. Okay, this is so nuts. This is what kind of pieces of shit you deal with this though. Okay, he gets a woman jailed because he leaks a confidential document. The confidential document deals with minors, so it endangers kids. So they endanger kids with their behavior. Right? He gets her jailed. Her lawyer drops out, and he may get in trouble for his behavior. Now, talking about that, he's like, "You're protecting PDF files," and they put out articles about that. So he sent me that, and yesterday I was busy. I was like, "Oh, I'm too busy to respond. I didn't even notice it there." So I wrote him, and I wrote him, and I said, "Boy, I was away yesterday and missed this." I was like, "You get a woman locked up. You help lose her lawyer along with her freedom. You get yourself in trouble too. And now you're crying about me exposing you with your own article again." I said, "I think it's more than that. I think you really want to skip the foreplay and get right down to the, but your house husband won't let you. You want some of that tug in your life." And I get it. I mean, that's okay, baby. It'll be our secret. Shh. Now don't speak. Don't ruin the moment with your stupid. And then I put, he always ends with, read my Substack. So it's like, "Owen, read my Substack, please, Doug. Make sweet optical love to this dirty little Joseph Banks boy." And he wrote back and he said, "Oh, thanks for letting me know. You were away yesterday. I was really concerned about your whereabouts." And I was like, "I know how you dream about me, baby. That's okay. I don't blame you. I mean, by the way, I saw a funny video about how your mom pays your bills while you cosplay journalist," which apparently, according to his ex, that's actually what happens. He doesn't pay his own bills, according to her. Mom does. Mom also goes and buys his groceries. Mom comes over and puts them away. Fun times, right? I was like, that's not what anyone means by a quote unquote kept man. Thanks for reminding me to subscribe to those. By the way, read my Substack. Please, I'll get grounded if you don't. And he wrote back and he was like, did you let me know that you were away because you wanted to excuse your delay? Oh, that's sad. And I was like, oh, it's because you're such a catch lover, boy. That's why I let you know. If I play my cards right, maybe you can steal my baby and your mom will pay my bills and put my groceries away too. There's always dreaming. By the way, read my Substack after dark. Yeah. So then he wrote and he was like, Tug, all your lame jokes won't change that you protect PDF files, so much so that you can't even say the word correctly. Remember, a narcissist must have the last word, so you will respond. Again, the narcissist trap. He's like, I got the last word, and if you say something, you're a narcissist. So I wrote him back. And I was like, oh, you're trying more misdirection. I was like, you're such a silly little sloot. Still, is there anyone that you wouldn't F over for pocket change? I mean, look what you did to this woman. You leaked a protected document. You knew better, but hey, it's her life and not yours, so F it, right? It's protected because kids too. But hey, as long as you get yours, you get mom jailed, you lose them a lawyer. And to cover it up, you scream about protecting PDF files. Is that how you covered up banging multiple vulnerable women and taking one's child? You scream PDF file when people call you out on that too. I get it. You got to scream something because you're afraid I'll fuck up your emotionally vulnerable woman gravy train. Got to go work, girlfriend. Kisses. By the way, read my Substack. I get women locked up. Fun times. He hasn't responded yet. Oh, Lord. You don't owe nicety to anyone on the best of days, but you especially don't owe nicety to pieces of shit like that. You know? That's what they do, though. In order to get people from talking about their behavior, they will accuse you of horrendous things. They will do anything. And typically it works for them. You know, most people are like, well, who cares? You know, not me though, man. You want to pull me into a conversation like that? I will not make it fun for you. You know, he's really also, he is not a very nice person about when we made him money. I mean, we made him all the money he made off of that case. Did the antis make him any money off that? Nope, not any. He went on to actually, I guess they fed items to them to cry about it, and they didn't help them at all. We made them all that money, man. Oh, $3. I mean, that's his own money too. He can put that in his pocket. Mom can't take that away. You know? That is wild. Dude sits around. He's like, I'll call you a PDF file while mom's paying the bills. Holy crap. That's what the ex says. That is absolutely what she says. That just what cracks me up about it, because she put out a couple of videos that were discussing this. I'll have to pull one up. I have to pull it. I'll have to note a few of the things there. You know, because like I said, this dude, he is really butthurt about it. I just think it's real funny. I think it's funny because, again, that's somebody he lived with. And remember with the ex, by the way, just to note that situation, he was writing articles about this lady. He was saying that she was, that she was being mistreated. The same thing he does typically, you know. He writes a specific article. This person's bad. That person's good. He doesn't disclose, however, that he's living with and having relations with said woman. So he's writing hit pieces on her behalf. He doesn't disclose that. Then he decides that he, in this, he decides to about face when she gets pregnant. She accuses him of something. And suddenly there's no longer hit pieces about that other person. Now they're hit pieces about her. He talks about how horrible she is. He talks about how crazy she is. She ends up getting put away. She ends up losing her child. Now, again, I don't know anything about her. What I do know is I know that this guy, though, there is no fucking integrity in that. That is taking advantage of a person in a vulnerable position, no matter what, if they're going through those situations, through the divorce and everything. But it's even more so if he's saying that she was mentally ill and all these other things, then he was taking advantage there. And there are other people that have made claims about him too. So, it's amazing when you call that stuff out. Like I said, they love to get out there and they love to pretend that, oh, these are great journalists. They're doing God's work out there. But fun times, isn't it? Again, they will try to malign you and everything else, but you just stay with it. You don't let people like that have it. All right, let's talk about some stuff here. Oh, what's up, tight line? I had a comment. It's shy and got scared of the people. The evil people. Evil people. Dude, hope it still counts. Oh, yes. In that case, for sure. Yes, it does. Yes. There's no comment, but it is still a comment. That comment, it is in backing. And appreciate that backing, my friend. And I appreciate that. Actually, that's so situation. I love those comments. They're funny. Barb, thank you for the gifted membership there. Thank you, Barb. Much appreciate you. Thank you, and love gifted memberships. I love those. I think they're great. Max Lab, thank you for the super chat there. Thank you, Max Lab. Appreciate you, my friend. It has been a crazy ride with this stuff. Tomorrow, I may cover their their lunacy. I haven't decided about tomorrow streaming or not. I usually do, and I've taken one day off already this week. It feels weird to take two, but I'll decide. Oh man, I think From comes on again tonight. Heck yeah. I've been on an audiobook kick though lately. I've been going through all of them. God, I didn't realize how much I'd been listening. I put like 110 hours of audiobook in that have clocked in. Good Lord. Fallen Hero, thank you for the gifted membership. Thank you too, Fallen Hero, for being here. Appreciate you, my friend. Very much so. Thank you. Man, some of you guys, like I said, I kind of, like when I miss a day, I also miss being around you folks, talking to you folks, checking in, see what's happening. Just miss it. Jada, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships there. Thank you, Jada. Appreciate you. And it's good to see you too, Jada. Thank you for doing that. Again, love those. They absolutely, they send such a good message to people. So thank you. Bonnie, thanks for the 19 months. Hope you and the girls had a good time. We did. Like I said, the oldest went movie-wise. So she got, sometimes they want a day for their own thing, It makes, they can be special themselves. So the youngest got to do her thing. And she was thrilled. She loves swimming. I hate to swim. I hate it. I absolutely hate swimming. I don't know. When I was a little kid, I remember, what water wings are, the little floaties that people have. I remember being a little kid and my biological dad was a mess. He was an absolute mess. And he took me down to the pool and I was out in the deep end. I thought, I thought I was king shit because I was down there in the deep end messing around. I have floaties on, so I'm good to go. Well, one of them popped. So I'm sitting there and I'm sinking like an idiot, I'm like, oh my God, I'm trying to stay afloat with one. I'm like, I'm going to drown for sure. And my dad was out, not my mom. And boy, I got lucky and got my own ass out of there because he sure didn't help me. So I always remember that. And I've never liked swimming after that. Never really liked it. So Somebody else usually takes them. Sailor Dark, thanks for the 2 there. 16 at my local theater for Mando and Grogu. How was that, by the way? I really liked the early Mando and Grogu stuff. I did not like the last season, but I did like the early stuff. I never thought in my life there would be a time either when, they did the singular Boba Fett stuff. I never in my life thought that they could mess up Boba Fett, but they did. So I was curious about the movie. It's sad. If Disney could figure out how to make a movie for half of their budget, like $100 million, right? That's a lot of money. If they could figure out how to do that for $100 million, they make profit. The problem is that they keep running up numbers where, that movie with everything is about a $300 million to $350 million movie. So you're talking about needing, if it's $300 million, you usually go at 2 times to 2.5 times the cost. So with that, they need $600 million plus. I mean, that's a lot of money to get. And that you're starting to run into failure with that. Early on, they just had a license to print money. But people, when they got to the Solo movie, it did very badly. And now, unfortunately, if they would have put that, if they would have been able to capitalize on Mando and Grogu early on, they would have made money with it. They would have, because I remember when when it kicked off and everybody was like, "Oh, I love that! I love Baby Yoda." But now, I mean, that's just a lot of money. Let's see. Sailor Talk also. That was for 1 ticket, nachos, and a drink. So you got nachos and a drink with that too. Okay. See, so for daytime, like I said, we got $10. Then with a drink is there's 20. And then we didn't get any nachos or anything, but we got popcorn and we shared it. Now it was refills on that, but still it's $20. So for one person, you say it's, I mean, really, God, that's a lot of money. You know what? 20, 40. Actually, you know what? I've been saying $50. That's actually $60. I don't know why, because I was counting 1 drink for some reason. So that's actually $60, not $50. That's crazy. Because we got our own separate drinks. I kept thinking 1 drink for some reason, but no, we got our separate drinks. Now, like I said, the kid had fun, so I'm not complaining about that. I just can't believe, like, most people, they can't spend that kind of money every time. Like, movie theaters, see, they talk about cost of living increases. When I was younger, though, even though minimum wage might be $6, you could go to a movie for under that, like your ticket costs less than the hour per. So you could get in there. We also, we would go and there would be a Last Chance Theater. They had a theater and a Last Chance Theater. The Last Chance Theater would play a movie for $1. I saw armies of movies for $1. I saw most of the Child's Play movies. Chucky. I saw most of those over at the Last Chance. I saw Army of Darkness over there. I mean, I just saw a bunch of movies that way. One fun thing that happened within COVID here, our theater, they were having a problem. So they would rent you an entire screen showing for around $100. They would rent you out an entire theater to you and whomever you wanted to bring. I think it was up to 20 people. And if you wanted to do that, you could also bring, they would open up the concession stand just for you and your people, which was awesome. I wanted my kids to experience the movie The Thing, in the theaters. So I took them over there and I picked up I picked it up. Plus it supported, I know the people who own our theater out here. You know, in a small town like that, you kind of know that you know a lot of people, so it helped them out too. But I was like, man, this is awesome. It was too. It was pretty awesome. Anyway, let's continue here. Let's see. McDeb. What's up, McDeb? How you doing? Thanks for the tip. Marla's suffering. She's suffering from dumophobia, man. I mean, she makes up some of the weirdest things, you know? I'm like, man, you know, Marla, like, you don't have to like anybody, you know? But you don't have to like ignore reality. She's like, oh, to tell you about that umbrella guy, it's actually something to do with JFK. No, it's not. It's very easy. It's not only been talked about a lot, but you can kind of look it up all over the place. You know, very simple to fact check. But that would mean that you would have to. Oh, you'd have to care about the truth. A lot of these folks do not care about anything related to the truth. It's so strange, though. I mean, they don't. What amazes me is they don't lie about like just this or that. They lie about like so many inconsequential things like that. What point does that really serve to lie about? Because you know it's going to get called out. Oh, well, maybe some moron will believe you. Wow. Amazing. Yeah. That's some hard-hitting journalism right there. Oh, man. Anyway, let's get... I'm always amazed. I'm like, did you just try to link my avatar use to racism somehow? Are you kidding me? Oh, that'd be like me saying the name Marla, you know, it's linked to some, well, you know, during World War II, there was a famous woman named, you know, I mean, how dumb would that be, right? But that is one of their tactics. I wonder sometimes with the antis, I wonder if anybody actually, I mean, they talk, right? She talks, but is anybody really paying attention? I mean, honestly, or are people like most of us, when they're like, I mean, I think the Marla stuff is funny because it's stupid, but I'm also stunned by the level of stupidity. She also went after, they went after everybody from I Watch So You Don't Have to Allison. It's funny. They were like, Allison clips things for Tug. No, she clips for herself. I thank her for clipping things because I don't end up having to, but she clips them because she's amused by the level of stupid, which most of us are, you know. It's just so funny because they're like, oh, they're clipping it specifically for this person. No, I think they're clipping it for themselves. They're very amused. And thank you, Allison, by the way. You do a beautiful job. Thank you, I Watch So You Don't Have to. But it butt hurts these people. They're like, it's all conspiracy. They're going to sue all of you too. Something to bark about. What's up? How you doing? Something to bark about. It's good to see you. You know, also people should check out Something to Bark About. I like Something to Bark About the content. As I've said many times, I like the content. I think everybody needs some kind of detox from the stupid online sometimes. And that's a good way to get it. You find channels that they're just fun to watch. Appreciate you. Andre, thanks for the too. Tug, have you seen all the Resident Evil movies? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Some of the later ones. I don't have a high bar for movies. You know, if I'm entertained, I'm entertained. I'm not a critic. You know, critics will go out and they'll tell you, oh, well, this movie, it's blah, blah, blah. And I don't care about all that. I just want to be entertained. And yeah, I was entertained by all those. So I did watch them all, though. I do wish they would do. I like the cartoon ones, you know, the animated ones. Those are pretty good. I think they're more in line with what they're trying. But I really I really liked 3 because 3 felt like a George Romero film. I always like watching 3. Like over time, that's become my favorite to watch out of everything. Because 3, again, it's more like an actual horror zombie movie. E. Poindexter, thanks for the 14 months. Highly recommend a drive-through. Oh yeah. We've got one around. That's actually would be fun to take the girls to one day. I think they would enjoy that. I've been considering. We have one. It's not close, but it's not so far away. They're like, oh, I've thought about that though. I think that would be fun for them to experience. I mean, you're right on that for sure. Or I was do fun or run movies. That'd be good. Better food. Yeah, that has been an experience because you end up with food. How are the prices with the food? I'm curious. Like, are they the same? Do you have better pricing with the food too? I understand why food is so expensive too, because that's where they make their profit. They get 100% of the profit out of that. So they don't share it with anybody. So they love that. What's up, something Barkman? Thanks for the 20 there. Appreciate that. Tug, I'll have a biopsy on my right lung on Tuesday. Ready to get the ball rolling, get all the bad stuff over and done. Appreciate all the prayers. And please keep telling folks about my channel. Up to 650. That's awesome. First of all, 615. That is good. The other there, prayers to you for sure. Appreciate the heck out of you. And we will definitely keep you in our thoughts, our prayers. Yes. And go in there. You get it looked at. Do not worry and freak out about anything. You remember with any medical stuff, I know it's easy to say this, but with medical, you remember you don't know how the outcome will be. You don't know what's going on, and you're in the right place because you're trying to get something done with it. And love to you. And for sure, we'll keep talking about your channel for sure there. And like I said, we'll keep you in our thoughts, our prayers. I'm going to have my legs, I've got a place, what do they call that? Venous insufficiency or whatever, where you get discoloration on your legs and stuff. I'm starting to have real problems out of that. It's getting to the point I'm probably going to have something done to my right leg. I had real problems after the arrest for all of the stuff that went on. My legs have started. It really caused them problems. So I'm afraid I'm gonna have to have surgery on that to get that, to clear out all the veins on them, which they don't have anything close by here. So I'm like, ugh. Don't look forward to that. Weezy Wheels, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you, Weezy Wheels. I hope you're doing great too, Weezy. It's good to see you. I love seeing you guys. Weezy also, thanks for the 10. The most amazing dad out there. All kids deserve a dad like you too. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I try to be a good dad. My dad was not very good dad, I not have a very good dad. I had a very good mom, and I think having one really good parent, it can make you, if you've got that hands-on person, it makes such an impact on your life. So I try to be that thing for my kids. I think it's very important. I got lucky to have that in my life. So I try to give that to my kids. Marie, thanks for the 6 there. I need help. I'm due in 4 weeks. And hubby wants to name him Bruce. Oh no. I need a good argument to steer him toward James. He's not following cases. Well, James is a great, that is, first of all, as far as what you're naming them after, really, what are you going with Bruce? Just remind him, like, Bruce, what's he naming him after? A shark? Because that's the name of the Jaws shark. Oh no. That's what people are going to think. They're going to think, man, there's that kid named after the Jaw shark. That's what I would think. Versus, man, look at that very austere, very biblical name. I'm just saying that. You know, and I mean, as far as nicknames too. I mean, Bruce, again, you can see what name that can get turned into. Kids can call the kid Deuce or anything else. James, I mean, what are they going to really turn James into? So you can make that argument too. Hey, congrats, by the way, you know, for real. All jokes aside, congrats there. Let me know how, let me know about the delivery and stuff if you don't mind. Said I always love that kind of news. I love good news. We cover so much crazy. It's always nice to have good news. Hey, what's up, E. Poindexter? Drop 10 gifted memberships there. Thank you, E. Poindexter. I love it. I love that. I love that. This also right here on the end of the month too. You know, so people, they'll get them another month out. A lot of people get them a brand new month up. That is awesome there. Thank you, E. Poindexter. That's good stuff. Appreciate you. Teresa, thanks for the 10. Who did the anti-Hales people confuse with Emily DeBaker? That seriously has to be one of my favorite moments in this insanity. Oh, God. I don't even remember that. Who was that? Lord. I can't remember right off the top of my head again. I remember that. You know, this stuff is so nuts that, I mean, just, it's got so much weird lore in and of itself. You're right there. It is, it is something else, isn't it? I mean, they thought they were going to go after Emily DeBaker. You know what's wild? The people that they quoted for their rumors on Reddit too, they went after folks like Emily DeBaker. They went after any lawyer that they didn't have to say a negative thing about Amber Heard. It's just people that thought that she was guilty. They smeared the shit out of those, you know, and it was pretty much any lawyer that was around at that time. But it's wild. I mean, that's the people that the antis are quoting. They're like, oh man, we're going to win over some people to our side by, oh yeah, going with some sleaze bags. That's awesome. Yeah. Max Lab, thanks to you. Lips is pulling a deuce move. You did the same thing. Yep. Did indeed. It's funny though. She's like, oh, I got a protective order. What? Who got a, when did anybody get a protective order? When did that happen? Does anybody remember a protective order coming in? I mean, they just claim weird shit. They just lie about stuff. If it were one or two things too, you know. But I mean, it's flagrant. I mean, these people just lie about stuff, and they do it so brazenly. Could you imagine? I can imagine lying to a court like that. Cynic, thanks for the 2. Didn't the first case drop before the ceiling? Yes, yes. We didn't get anything decided. She's a nut, man. Yes, we didn't have anything come up on the docket whatsoever. We got nothing done. There was no service, no nothing. Yeah. So, I mean, when she throws this stuff out there, she's lying. She makes it sound like, and she's lying to try to get what she wants. And it's her case. That's the craziest thing. She absolutely knows better. Because she's not talking about a case that just somebody else did. She's talking about her own cases. So nuts, man. Vito, thanks for the 9 months. Isn't that the reason for public record? The judge needs to tell her to move to a country. Yes, indeed. They're only supposed to lock down information in very specific items. And again, for her feeling like, you know, embarrassment, that is not a reason to shut that down, as was told to Bruce. You know, Bruce was told that. He was told, sorry about your luck. when LP, because she tried that. She tried to say, well, this stuff is embarrassing me. It's humiliating. Well, that's how it goes. Good thing. Thanks for the 2. Happy birthday. 61st. Tanya, hey, 7th birthday to Pongo. Oh, man, look at that. We get some double birthday time. Let's do it. I love it. Give me 1 second. I got to roll there. And happy birthday. Awesome. From all of us to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. May all your dreams come true. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. We love to have you here. Happy birthday. Here's to another year. Healthy, productive, amazing years. That is awesome, though. Man, I love celebrating people's birthdays. That's great. And then remember, as I've said a million times, if for some reason you're like, man, you know what, Tug? I loved having a birthday, but my birthday wasn't the greatest birthday ever. Well, remember, do-overs are acceptable. You can quote that. That is a matter of law, by the way. I'm telling you that as as a retired lawyer. Retired lawyer. In lieu of disability. No, I'm just kidding. You know, when people talk about when they throw out to the world that they're a lawyer that has been retired, it's just amazing to me. But man, I hope the birthday has been fabulous. Like I said, if not for some reason, do-overs are always acceptable. I kind of, one year I really did that. I was like, hey, I'm going to have a do-over for my birthday because it sucked. And I'm glad I did, because the birthday in question, it was not fun. But when I did a do-over, I did have a good time. So I think now that's why I go with the for real. I really do believe that as far as I think birthday celebrations are important. There are not many celebrations in life that we reserve for ourselves. And I think birthday celebrations are very important. So again, for people out there, if your I'm very serious. If you have a birthday, it goes kind of sideways on you for whatever reason, then you need to go at it again, because they are important. We celebrate holidays over people that, who are they? Are we over dead presidents and everything else? Well, we need to celebrate people that are alive and we appreciate and love. So all of you out there, I hope you have great ones. But thank you for letting me celebrate with you. I love that. Let's see. Give me a second. Kiwi Crypt Keeper. Thank you for the 5 there. As an outsider, it appears to me that the U.S. is having a chronic issue with the First Amendment. Yeah, Afro Man, Turtle Boy, Hales, Tug, Megan, etc. Better get fixed. Well, there are a lot of people out there that want to take away your ability to speak. They want to conflate speech. One of the problems that we've had is this term, hate speech. All right, we've had terms like that. What does that mean? And people have just gone along with it. What does that mean? Because speech, you can find speech to be ugly. You can think it's hateful, and that's fine. You can have your opinions on it, but it's still protected. And we've gotten to this point where we think, people can, if we don't like speech, people are willing to shut it down. In fact, I saw a survey that was talking about how something like 15 to 20% of people that were surveyed were asked about specific political speech that they didn't like, and would they be okay with shutting that down because of, I think the label at the time was something like fake news, you know, and 20% of people said yes. I found that to be really disturbing because who's deciding that? Well, it would be the government deciding it. And once you give away something, you don't get it back. So you don't give away rights. You know, you never give them away. Again, you may think something's awful and bad, but you know, when you have people getting arrested just for speaking, that's when it's bad. And we see that. And the U.S. has been an interesting thought experiment because we've been able to pretty much say what we want to say about certain things. And, you know, the government itself, they've not been able to shut it down. Now, as far as speech, you have to remember, too, free speech just is about you being able to say it and the government not being able to shut it down. Now, as far as lawsuits, people can sue over things. But the Turtle Boy stuff is crazy because a lot of the Turtle Boy stuff, whether you like him or not, a lot of what he said, he's talking about not just, he was talking about government entities in a lot of this stuff, talking about how terrible they were, you know, the garbage that they were doing. And you have to be able to call out those kind of abuses. I agree. I think people need to really look over that again. Hey, Intimidator, what's up, man? Thanks for the 10 there. Hey, I hope you're doing well. Thank you, bro. You know, here's a new dad joke to tell your daughters. Do you know why this zombie didn't graduate from high school? Because he didn't have the brains for it. Indeed. I always love telling them really, you know, goofy dad jokes. So I love it. Thank you, man. Hey, it's great to see you, brother, by the way. Appreciate you. Hazel, what's up? Thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you for that, Hazel. Appreciate you. That's great, too. Sailor Dark Jupiter, thanks for the Ted. So the movie was great, better than that's good to know because I really hated that season. I hated it. I mean, the first 2 seasons were fun. That first season was really good. You know, they did a good job with it. And I mean, there were a couple of parts in season 3 that were but I mean, are good, but most of it was rather. It's just, so that's good to hear. What's up, Ketchup? Thanks for the 2 there. A $6 tickets on Tuesday. Free pop. Ooh, man, that's awesome. I wish we had something like that. I had to drive. We have, like I said, a local theater, but it's I typically don't go here. I support them sometimes, but they are not mine. Let's just say they're not my choice of facility. If I'm going to go watch something, like I'm going to take the kids to see, you know, something, I take them to Cookeville, Tennessee. Now, Murfreesboro has better seats, but Cookeville has just a better atmosphere. So, you know, like when we went, the last time I went to Murfreesboro, there were armies of people just running their mouths, talking. And so, you know, it was very distracting, very annoying. But when I went, and it's kind of surprising because Cookeville is a college town. You know, it's got a community. Well, it's got I shouldn't say community. It's got a community college out that way, but it also has it has a tech. I hate to call it a tech college though, because it's known for nursing. It is a tech. It's TTU. I went there actually. I like that place, but they're known. They have one of the best nursing programs in Tennessee, so they're known for that. But they have a college area. I mean, Murfreesboro is a college area too, but tech, you would think, with its makeup of people, you would think like it would be distracting there, but no, they actually do well about keeping their mouth shut and stuff. Murfreesboro is just a free for all. Hazel Monte Eagle, thank you for the 10 there. Belated crook and T-Well birthday money. Oh, heck yeah. Ensure you use it on yourself and the girls. Indeed. That is the best way to do that, right? It is. I guess who's been whining today, by the way? Guess who was whining at old Megalodonis? BBB. That's right. BBB. He's popped back up. I haven't had a BBB sighting in a little while, so that was kind of interesting, you know? Thank you. Thank you, AZ. Mente. Ingo. I love saying it. Oh, love it. Thank you. See, Wheat Toast, West Coast. Thank you for the 5 gifted memberships there. How's it going, Wheat Toast, by the way? I hope you're doing great, too. I freaking love Wheat Toast. I have got to get a new song set up for Sexy Toast. Like I said, there's a fake, you know, those fake copyright scammers that are out there. There's a fake copyright scammer that keeps hitting Sexy Toast, and they're not attached to any legitimate business. They're just some Middle Eastern place. I looked them up, and they have no legitimate claims, but the copyright system is so broken here that just like, it's not worth fighting over. Can't fight them. You know, so I've been looking for a new setup with that. Isn't that crazy? Like you have to worry about what they do is they claim all ad revenue from your videos. So for that one song, they were like, "Oh, we own your videos." So I hate that. But Wheat Toast, appreciate you, my friend. Like I said, that reminds me, I need to fix that. Give me a minute here too. Give me a second. I'm looking to see if there's anything else. I need to do a redirect. Flashcast is you know what? I'm just gonna end here. I appreciate you folks. I'll talk. I'm thinking I'll be on tomorrow. I don't know yet though. We'll see. But appreciate you. Flashcast is on. Go check out Flashcast. Don't go over there if you get offended. Yellow Flash too. Check them out. See ya.